is Megan Faragasso. My business is the Autoimmune Healer, and I offer customized nutrition plans to eliminate autoimmune symptoms and for weight loss.
Okay. Can you tell me your story about how you got started in this industry? Like, who were you
Sure.
as a kid and all that good stuff?
Yeah, well, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. Started my first business when I was 2. It was in my house. I set up a little store in my house, and if my parents wanted their wallet, 25 cents. And then I started my first profitable business at 7, and I was on the front cover of the local Gazette because I donated the profits to charities because at 7, my needs were met, by my parents. So, but I didn't really understand profit and loss then. So since then, my whole life I've been a serial entrepreneur. I have dedicated myself to helping women to love and heal their bodies. At first, and I've been doing this for over 27 years. First started when I was hospitalized for anorexia, and it didn't look like I was going to make it. And I just got down on my knees and I prayed and I said, God, if you save me from this and get me out of here, I promise to dedicate the rest of my life to helping other women take care of their bodies and love and heal them. And from there, it kind of morphed. I worked in kind of the health and wellness and space for about 20 years. And then a couple years ago, I was suffering from some autoimmune issues. And I knew that I could heal myself with nutrition. And I kept asking doctors for help and seeking other trained nutritionists for help, and no one could really guide me. And doctors were saying, well, there's not really any help for you, not much we can do. This is just going to be the way it is. And we don't even have a diagnosis, but you just have to live with these symptoms. And I wasn't willing to accept that. So I was able to come up with a protocol to heal myself of all of the symptoms. And I started realizing that a lot of my clients that were coming to me with weight loss actually had a lot of inflammation and metabolic damage from autoimmune issues. And I started recognizing these common denominators over and over again. And I started saying, well, this worked for me. You want to try it? They'd say, yeah. And I started after working with thousands and thousands of people and helping them eliminate all of the symptoms of their autoimmune diseases. I was able to figure out very custom protocols. And I'm able to now customize plans and nutrition plans based on what gives each individual person causes their flare-ups. And it's really rewarding. I mostly work with other entrepreneurs and CEOs and people who are high functioning and have really busy lives, parents and people who can't afford to be sick. Like they can't, they're too busy. So, nothing matters when you're sick, right? They say that you have, a man that's healthy has 1,000 wishes, and a man that's sick has 1, right? So it is more rewarding, that what I do, it does help people gain confidence too. But it's just the fact that they get their lives back. People from having insomnia, brain fog, joint pain. Sometimes people, can't move anymore. They can't walk. They're just kind of losing the, chronic fatigue, losing their quality of life. And so to be able to reinvigorate their life is just, I want to do it forever, It's something I don't ever want to retire from.
Yep.
So.
Yep, they say when you love what you do, it's not a job, right?
Yeah.
That is such a powerful story. And I'm just like giggling inside a little bit because you said when you were 2 and then when you were 7, like you always had that little entrepreneurial spirit in you, huh?
Yeah, I think it's the desire for impact over comfort or stability. Yeah. Like I need impact more than anything else, more than stability or reliability in my life.
Yeah, and so. I can see that when you talk about it too, like the little passion in your eyes and your smile, like, yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about how some clients come in and they have maybe like some autoimmune flare-ups coming up? Like, how does that connect with what you're putting into your body? That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's complicated, to say the least, but it is, our body a lot of times we have an allergy, right? Sometimes you have a food allergy, say for example, and it's pretty clear. Like you eat a food and you have a reaction right away. So you may have a rash breaks out or anaphylactic shock or something. But an allergy for a food, you eat the food and you see the reaction right away. With an autoimmune issue, it's more of an intolerance to a food that causes a chronic issue. And so it takes 2.5 to 3 weeks to get that food out of your system, out of your whole bloodstream, before the body can start healing, and then the body can start, and that chronic issue goes away. So the problem is people may say, well, they only eat something once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. And so there's no correlation to them eating the food and then seeing the reaction, but it's still constantly in their bloodstream. So they think they just have these chronic issues. Well, I just have back pain. I just have brain fog. I just am always tired. I'm just always bloated and have, all kinds of digestive issues, IBS, Crohn's. And so they don't see the correlation as easily. And my job is to come in and just figure out what it is that their body is causing an intolerance to, what their body is reacting to, that's slowing down their metabolism and causing these symptoms, so that we can pull that out. And then the next step is always to start introducing new foods, so that we're not just pulling foods away and saying, well, you can't eat this and you can't eat this and now you can't eat this. And people just end up binging, so we have to start, if I'm going to take foods out of your diet, even if for 3 or 6 months, just while your body heals, we're going to start introducing new foods that you maybe didn't have or didn't know you like, or things, so that you don't just feel deprived.
That is very shocking. Like you said, it stays in your system for a little bit, so you think like, oh, it's definitely not that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and then can you tell me a little bit about marketing? Like, how are you putting yourself out there? How are you sharing this knowledge so people know about you and come to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. Mostly it's word of mouth. People see their coworkers and their neighbors and their friends' lives drastically change. They ask about it, right? And hundreds of thousands of people are being diagnosed every year with autoimmune diseases, and it's increasing at a drastic rate because of the toxins that we're being exposed to that are increasing, and we have less of an ability to detox our body. We need to help it detox a little bit. Our body naturally does that, but we're bombarding it too much. And so, we're having, so more and more people are having this issue, and I'm one of the few people in the world that marry both nutrition and weight management, and I do it with whole foods, and that I kind of focus in the autoimmune space.
Okay.
And then, so it's just, I do some marketing on social media, but at this point I don't do any paid advertising currently. So
I think you definitely should dip into that space online, because you have such informational things that I think people would benefit from listening to, or maybe they don't even know and they're like, wait, what I'm eating,
Yeah.
I think that would be really great. And I feel like you have like the style and the personality to put yourself out there. People be like, wow, I like this girl. I'm gonna go talk to her. I like her sneakers. You can't see them, but they're really cool for people who don't know. Yeah. And for your industry, is there like a common misconception or anything that you would like people to know?
I think that intuitively, often people know that there is help, even if a doctor says, well, this is just the way it's going to be for the rest of your life, that if there is something that you want help with, to seek answers and to keep asking and keep seeking someone that can help you, because there are answers. And just because that doctor doesn't have any nutritional knowledge, they're not trying to lie to you or deceive you or not help you. It's just that they don't know, right? And so that's a big problem. A lot of times people go to their doctors and the doctors will tell them, well, there's some biologics you can be on for the rest of your life, or there's some things that can maybe mitigate it, but there's nothing else you can really do. It's not that they're lying to them, it's just that they don't know. There is plenty more you can do, but you've got to keep seeking. Don't give up. Like, keep looking, keep asking, keep finding someone that can help you.
Absolutely. Especially, I feel like, of course the doctors aren't lying to you, but I think it's just the way that maybe the medical industry is a little bit and how they're trained and brought up with like coming up with solutions as opposed to like a more holistic way. So we just gotta like also educate ourselves and see what other options are there. But there's also some doctors that I've actually had the pleasure to talk to as well who try to do things a little bit more in a holistic way as well. So yeah, just getting that knowledge and being aware that medicine is not the only option. There are other options, right? So I think that
Seek
is
it out. Yeah,
an amazing.
We've got to be our own advocate.
Absolutely, because if not, girl,
who else will be?
Exactly. And then, is there any other topic or any other passion that's in your heart that you would like to like get out there or let people know about, whether it's in regards to your business or just the nutritional world?
Yeah, I think just, resiliency and the ability to pivot, it's been really paramount in both my life and my business. That the reason I've been able to be an entrepreneur for so long is because I'm constantly pivoting, I'm constantly changing and open to seeing what people need and what the need is and what and how I need to change and to help people with their needs. And I think that's true with everything in our lives. If we can become more flexible to, be more receptive to change and be a little bit more flexible with that, it can just kind of, things can be a little easier for us and life can be a little more of a fun adventure.
That's
just
right.
like our businesses, they don't have to be stressful. They can be a fun adventure.
Exactly.
So
I love that. Where can people find you? What's your Instagram, your website?
Yep. My website is theautoimmunehealer.com, and my Instagram is also the Autoimmune Healer, Facebook, the Autoimmune Healer. So
perfect. Yes. And then last question here. If you could leave one message with our listeners, what would that message be? Could be anything in your heart.
Yeah, I think that message is just to not give up and to be your own advocate, and that someone's not coming to save you, and that you have to be your own advocate. And there is a way if you're resilient, and you will find a way.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom and your awesome story.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course.